We're going to be pretty informal today.
Yeah,
So if you have questions, just interrupt us. Okay? Okay. All right. So we are going to start with an introduction to using smartphones. Does this work? Okay. So what types of phones do you guys have? Do you all have similar phones? Apples?
Everybody has an iPhone?
Samsung? Okay. All right. So smartphones used to make phone calls and send text messages, but obviously you can do more with them. Check emails, internet. Nowadays there's all kinds of apps, games you can play, right? All kinds of things you can do. So iPhones are made by Apple. There's Android phones that are made by Samsung. And then there's also Windows phones made by Nokia. So the difference between each phone is that they have different operating systems developed by different manufacturers. So while they look similar, they operate differently, right? If you've had a Samsung and now an iPhone, you know that they operate differently. You can use your finger to control the phone, or you can also buy something called a stylus that has a little rubber tip on it, and you can use that to navigate through your phone if there's something that your finger doesn't work for. Stylus you can find at any electronic shop, Amazon, probably Target in the technology section. So one word you will see often is apps, and this word is short for application, is a shortcut that will allow you to go directly to a program or a website that you wish to access. So that would be, apps on your phone would be like the internet app, so you'll see the little icon with the internet symbol on it. If you hit that, it'll take you to the internet. Other apps, your phones, depending on who your carrier is, you probably have an app on your phone for your carrier. So if your carrier is T-Mobile, you'll see a little pink icon with a T in it. If you click that, it'll take you to T-Mobile's website.
It's pretty much an app for anything these days. So pretty much if you think of something that you want an app for, there's probably already something for it. The Apple side is called the App Store. You can search by most popular apps to download to your phone. Otherwise, just the Google Play Store, the Samsung Store on the Android side.
You have online banking, so I can get.
Yep, so like let's say if you bank here with Cornerstone State Bank or First National Bank,
Yeah.
they each have their own app you can download. You can log into your bank account, check your balance.
I used to have that on my old phone, but now I didn't know how to get any apps on this new phone.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can keep working with you on that, setting up that Apple ID. Oops. Oh, that thing's touchy. All right, so the basics of the phone, right? The front is the screen. That's where you're going to see all of your information. On the top corner section is where you're going to have the earphone slots. So if you're making a call and you have it up to your ear, that's where you're going to want your ear.
A lot of phones might not have those anymore. They've updated to they might not even have the headphone jack anymore. It's all Bluetooth now. Pretty much everything's wireless. Some phones still have them, but some phones, like you would have to pair it via Bluetooth if you have a hands-free device or a headphone if you guys want to listen to music that's not playing over your phone. You can connect it to a Bluetooth speaker at your house, stuff like that.
Volume control on the side of the phone, so you'll have the up-down buttons probably next to the power button to control your volume. And then the power button can also be used as a sleep or awake button. So if your phone is not on, you can gently push that power button and it'll come awake, and then you can unlock it. And then on the bottom, you'll see the home button. Most Samsung phones, I think, have a home button. I don't know if iPhones necessarily have a home button.
Most newer iPhones, they don't have the home button anymore. It's just a button on the side you can use to wake your phone up, essentially, turn the screen on. But the older version of the iPhone has the button on the front that you can push to wake it up or go back to the home screen or something like that. So pretty much every phone is, in a way, they're all the same, but they have their little differences that is just unique to that phone. But they all operate pretty much the same way.
Any questions? All right. So scrolling through the application, so your smartphone is going to come preloaded with a whole bunch of applications you'll probably never use. Some of the common ones maybe would be the clock, if you wanted to set an alarm. And with those, you'll have the app. You can also create widgets on your phone. So you can put a widget on there, and a widget is found in your settings. I believe it's in the settings. So if you put an alarm clock widget on the front screen of your phone, it just helps you be able to set an alarm clock. You can change the time, select the date, turn it on and off from that widget instead of having to go all the way through your phone in the settings and find the alarm clock. And so widgets are kind of like a quick link to the app that you have on your phone. You can set up weather widgets, so you can put the weather on the front screen of your page or front page phone screen. That way, if you want to know what the weather is, you can just unlock it and hit it, and it'll update, show you what your local weather is. So the camera will have the camera button. Click that. You can take a picture, usually from the camera. There's also a little icon in the bottom, either left or right, that you can use to go to your gallery and look at your pictures. Otherwise, you'll have an app for the gallery somewhere in your phone as well. All of these are movable, so you can organize them to whichever way you want them, or if you want something that you access often on the front screen, you can always move that app to the front screen. So for the camera, to take a picture, you're gonna open up the app, and then once it's open, you'll see the camera. Obviously, you'll see what you want to take a picture of, and there'll be a small button in the middle, and if you push that button, it'll take the picture.
Does everyone know how to take a photo on their phone? Anyone need any help with that?
All right. And then gallery, so we talked about that. You can access it sometimes from your camera on the bottom left or right, or you can go into the gallery app, and that'll pull up all the pictures you've taken with your phone. So again, all these phones can be organized on the main screen. I think most screens you can have several screens, so you'll have the main screen and then you can flip to side screens. So if you like to have, your if you have a screensaver you like to look at, grandkids or something, you can have that screen blank, and then you can swipe to the side and you can have your quick apps loaded on those other pages. Anybody have any questions? Not yet? All right. How to send a photo. So you take a picture and you want to send it to somebody. You're going to open up the gallery or the photo app on your phone, and you're going to select the picture that you want to send. Once you're on that picture, on the bottom of the picture, you should see an icon similar to one of these. Depends on what phone you have is which icon you're going to see. So once you click on that, it'll ask you how you want to send it, if you want to text it or if you want to send it via email. Nowadays, too, smartphones have Samsung has Smart Share. So if you have a picture on your phone and the person next to you has a Samsung phone, you can turn on your Smart Share, and by putting the phones next to each other, you can actually just transfer the photo to their phone. I know iPhones have it too. It's called something else. AirDrop. So that's another way to share a picture, but obviously to send it through something, you would choose text message or email. And then what you'll do is once you choose text message or email, it'll put that picture into an email. Then you would choose who you want to send it to. If you choose text message, it'll put it into an empty text message, and then you'll have to click the to and pick out the contact you want to send it to. And then you can go ahead and send that picture to someone. So using the keyboard. So to make the keyboard appear, you'll need to tap where you would like to type. So if it's a text message, you'll have to tap in the box where the text message goes, and then your keyboard will pop up to allow you to type your message. Looks like a keyboard, but obviously much smaller. You can tap the shift key to change from capital to lowercase or lowercase to capital. If you tap the shift key twice, it will turn it to all uppercase without changing it. Usually if you tap it once, it'll do one uppercase and then go back to lowercase. Twice will keep it all caps. If you need a number or a symbol, you can tap that bottom left button and that will pop up. The keyboard will then change to numbers and symbols, so you'll be able to choose if you want a question mark or something. If you need to backspace or delete something you've typed, there's the delete button. The keyboard also pops up if you click the 2, so you can choose to type in a phone number or you can choose to look through your contacts.
Pretty much, does everyone know how to text somebody or call somebody on their phone? Because I mean, I don't want to bore you guys. If you guys already know how to do it, we can skip through this, and then maybe spend some time to just talk about what you guys actually want to learn about, or any questions you guys have, and we can answer those questions. Texting and calling is pretty simple. You got the call, the phone button to make a call. You type in the number you want, or go to the contact section. Click on the name that you want. If you already have a contact in your phone, you can call that number. Otherwise, texting is the same way. You click on the messaging. Most emblems will look the same. The messaging app, it will show that if you have a message on your phone, it will have a little number next to it, show how many notifications you have. Same thing, you can click on the messaging app, hit the new, type in a new contact, type somebody new, or you can click on a contact and send a text message that way. Adding contacts. If you go to the contacts phone, you can hit the add new, type in the person's name, type in the phone number. The other way to do it too, you can just straight up type the number from the phone app, and then on the upper right corner of the screen, it should say add or new contact, and you can click on that and then save someone's name that way. So there's a couple different ways you can go about adding a contact to your phone.
Same thing if somebody calls you and you say, oh, I need to save that phone number to my phone. When you're in if you see that person's number in your call log, you can hit the info button or like the information, and in the top corner there will be a plus sign like that, so you can add to contacts from your call log also.
So for the iPhone users, does everyone have an Apple ID set up and like you're able to download apps or?
Yeah, we're working on that, right?
Yeah, I don't,
Won't ring? Oh, we'll figure that out.
What she said?
Won't ring.
So pretty much the iPhone version of the software is called Apple ID. You need to have an Apple ID set up in order to do pretty much anything on your phone, beyond just the basic functions of the phone. Once you create an Apple ID, you can download apps, save stuff to the cloud, send emails, backs up all your phone information. If you were to either lost or damage it, or if it gets stolen for whatever reason, you would be able to log into your new phone, use the same Apple ID and password, and it should download everything from the last backup to your phone. And after we go through this, we can go through with everybody one-on-one and make sure Apple ID is set up and the Google ID for the Samsung. So you can create the Apple ID right from the phone itself if you go through the settings and click on Apple ID. If you already have one set up, like if you get a new device, you can type in your username and password. Otherwise, we can create a new one. It's going to ask you for some information from you, as in your name, date of birth, to make sure that you are who you say you are. And that way it ties it to you for your Apple ID. So if you ever get a new device, they can verify information and make sure someone's not trying to steal your information and that it's actually you trying to obtain it. It's going to ask for a email address to go along with your Apple ID too. That's where it's going to use to log in, and it's going to send you email updates to saying that your phone needs to be updated, or it's going to send you a verification code if you need to change your password for anything. So again, it's just more protecting your data and to be able to back up your phone. So if you're already set up on an Apple ID, you can log in through that. You can open up the App Store through the My Account button. You can either create a new ID or log in. If some apps require payments, so like if you want to, let's say for Netflix, for instance, if you guys have Netflix streaming, you can set it up so it bills your card automatically through your Apple ID. So it might ask for you to store a payment option. You definitely don't have to do that, but it makes it easy if you guys are buying stuff through app stores or paying for some extra services through like extra cloud storage. If you have a lot of photos on your phone, Apple can sell you some extra storage to save your photos on the cloud or any data that you guys have.
I used to have the Amazon on my phone, my old phone, and I don't know how to, I like having Amazon to order stuff.
Yeah, once we get your Apple ID set up, you'll find it much easier to get those apps back that you had on your old phone. Yep.
You want to go to the Google ID since you have a Samsung?
Sure.
So Kelly has an Android, I have an iPhone, so it's nice because we can both help you guys.
So to create Google, you can't really move forward without following all of the steps. It doesn't let you, right? But you'll go to the Google account sign-in page and tap Create Account. Select for my personal use from the drop-down menu, enter your basic information, click Use Your Email Address, and then enter your current email address. It'll want to verify by sending you a code, so you'll have to let it send through the code and then tap to verify. Once you have once you create that Google account, you'll be able to do the Play Store. So it's similar to Apple. You have to have an email address and a Google account. You can also create the Google account by using the device's web browser if you'd prefer to do it that way. So you would open up your browser and go to this accounts.google.com/signup, follow the instructions to create the Google account, and then you would add the account to your device. So once you have the Google account, you can add it to your device by opening up the device settings, tapping password and accounts, and then tap add account, and then you'll enter in that new Google account information, and it will link that to your phone. Your Google account, you can use it to, again, access email, contacts, calendars, and then there's some other data like the Play Store and other things on your phone that will use your Google account and not your email address. So it's kind of the gist of the topics that we have. Does anybody have a topic they want to talk about that we didn't cover?
What runs Google with, like Safari on an iPhone?
So Safari is the Apple's version of the internet. Google is more of your Samsung version.
Okay,
So it's both the internet, but it's just their platform.
that's what I thought. Okay.
So when you see Safari, that's tied to Apple, and then Google is tied to Samsung. But you can go to Safari and then type in google.com and still get to Google, but it's just under Safari.
Okay.
That's everything.
You don't use Google, she says she never uses it.
So the biggest thing with today, we wanted to make sure that everyone had their phone set up to where they need to be, that you have an Apple ID or a Samsung ID, and then you're able to download apps. And then on Thursday, we're going to go through like how to download apps and back up your phone, set up a voicemail account. So does anybody have questions with downloading apps, or like, how about the home screen? Like, does anyone want, you guys know that you can rearrange the apps on your phone to like put them in a certain order? So you don't have to be scrolling through the pages to find them. So if you take out your phone once and go to the home screen,
Not just for Samsung or?
no, it's everybody. So if you go to the home screen, for instance, if you see the setting app, if you push and hold that, don't click it, a button should come up